I stared at my mother's text message, feeling a familiar mix of hurt and anger wash over me. The family group chat was exploding with messages, all centered around my unforgivable decision to miss my sister Rachel's engagement party last weekend. I'd been in Singapore closing a $50 million deal that would save hundreds of jobs, but try explaining that to a family who thought I was just a low-level accountant at some nameless firm. Mom, since you clearly don't value family time, don't bother coming to Sunday dinner anymore. You're not welcome here. Rachel, maybe if you had a real job instead of your sketchy consulting work, you could keep a normal schedule like everyone else. Dad, your mother's right. Family has to come first, Emma. If they only knew that their normal lives, the utilities, the mortgages, the car payments, even their phone bills, all flowed through companies I quietly owned. 5 years ago, I'd started buying up regional utility companies and service providers, consolidating them under my holding company, Phoenix Industries. Now I controlled most of the infrastructure services in our state, all while maintaining my cover as a modest accountant. My fingers hovered over my phone's keyboard. I could explain everything, tell them about the empire I'd built while they mocked my career choices. Instead, I opened my company's management portal. Fine, I typed back. Let's see how you manage without my money. With a few quick taps, I initiated a systematic suspension of services to their addresses. Not disconnections, I wasn't cruel, but technical difficulties that would make their lives increasingly uncomfortable. My assistant's voice came through the intercom. Miss Phoenix, the Singapore contracts are ready for final review. Thank you, Lisa. Also, please monitor service interruptions at these addresses. I forwarded my family's information. I want detailed reports of any complaints. Of course, should I prepare the usual technical difficulties responses? Yes, Lisa. Make sure all their calls get routed to our most bureaucratic customer service representatives. I leaned back in my chair watching the city skyline from my penthouse office. The first effects would hit within hours. By tomorrow, they'd realize just how much they'd taken for granted, both the services I controlled and the daughter they'd dismissed. My phone buzzed again. Rachel, don't bother trying to make up with Mom. Some of us actually show up for important family events. I smiled, thinking of the technical issue about to hit her precious home automation system. Wouldn't dream of it, I texted back. The first complaint came in exactly 3 hours later. Dad's smart garage door wouldn't open, trapping his precious Mercedes inside. Then Mom's Wi-Fi mysteriously failed just before her weekly video call with her gossip group. By nightfall, Rachel's state-of-the-art security system was glitching, her heated pool was cooling, and her smart thermostat was developing a mind of its own. But it was the next morning when things really got interesting. My phone lit up with a message from Lisa. Your father is on line 1. He's been trying to reach customer service for 2 hours about their power fluctuations. I put him on speaker. Phoenix Industries, Emma speaking. How may I direct your call? There was a pause. Emma? Since when do you work for the utility company? Oh, I don't work for them, Dad, I replied calmly. I own them. The silence on the other end of the line was deafening. I could almost see Dad's face, trying to process how his underachieving daughter could possibly own the company he'd been fighting with all morning. That's impossible, he finally managed. Phoenix Industries is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Yes, it is. I pulled up his account on my screen. I see you've been experiencing some power fluctuations. And your garage door issue yesterday, terribly inconvenient. Would you like me to fix those? Emma. His voice took on that patronizing tone I knew so well. If this is some kind of joke because you're upset about Sunday dinner dash. No joke, Dad. Would you like me to prove it? Let's see. I typed a few commands. Your power should be stabilizing right now. I heard his sharp intake of breath as the lights in his house stopped flickering. How did you dash? The same way I control Mom's internet service, Rachel's smart home system, and every other utility in the tri-state area. I kept my voice professional. Phoenix Industries has been acquiring regional utility companies for the past 5 years. But you all were too busy criticizing my career choices to notice. My other line blinked. Mom was calling the customer service line. Hold on, Dad. I should take this. I connected Mom to the call. Phoenix Industries, Emma speaking. Emma. Mom sounded flustered. I've been on hold for hours. My internet won't work and I have my social committee meeting dash. Yes, we've been experiencing some technical difficulties in your area. I cut in smoothly. Strange how these issues started right after you banned me from Sunday dinner. What are you talking about? Then it hit her. Wait, Phoenix Industries. That's not your daughter's company? The one you all dismissed as sketchy consulting work? Yes, it is. I pulled up their family file. In fact, I'm looking at your accounts right now. Internet, power, water, gas, phone services, home security, all provided by my companies. Even the mortgage on your house is held by one of my subsidiaries. Rachel's name popped up on my screen. She was trying to get through to customer service too. I added her to the call. Everyone here? Good. Let's talk about family values, shall we? Kept my tone businesslike. You've all made it very clear that my presence at family functions is mandatory, despite my actual work commitments. Work, I might add, that involves running the infrastructure you all depend on. Why didn't you tell us? Rachel's voice was small, missing its usual condescension. Would it have mattered? I asked. Last week, while you were all planning your engagement party, I was saving 300 jobs by preventing a corporate takeover in Singapore. But according to Mom's text, I'm not welcome at family dinners anymore because I don't value family time. We didn't know. Mom started. No, you didn't. You didn't want to know. It was easier to assume I was failing than to ask what I was actually building. Dad cleared his throat. Princess, we may have judged too quickly dash. Hey, have. I laughed. For 5 years you've mocked my career choices. Rachel, just last month you told your fiancé not to take my business advice because, and I quote, she barely makes enough to pay rent. The irony was that I owned the building she lived in. Speaking of rent, I continued, pulling up Rachel's file, let's discuss your luxury condo in the Wellington building. Did you know I bought that property 2 years ago? Your exclusive lease agreement is actually with one of my shell companies. Rachel made a choking sound. The Wellington. But that's the most prestigious address in the city. Yes, and your rent has been artificially low because I instructed management to give you the family discount. Not that you ever knew or thanked me for it. I paused, letting that sink in. Should I adjust it to market rate? Emma, please, Mom interjected, her voice trembling. We're sorry. We didn't understand dash. Clearly. I cut her off. Let's talk about your country club membership, Mom. The one you love bragging about. Phoenix Acquisitions bought that club last year. I've been subsidizing your membership fees, just like I've been quietly managing most of your financial lives. The silence that followed was heavy with realization. I pulled up more files on my screen, laying out the full extent of their dependence on my companies. Dad's golf resort? I own it. Rachel's favorite spa? The premium cable package you all enjoy? My company. The convenient payment plans on your luxury cars? My financing division. I've spent years watching you all live comfortable lives thanks to my business success, while simultaneously mocking that very success. Why? Dad's voice was barely a whisper. Why keep it secret? At first it was just easier. I was building something important, and your dismissal meant I didn't have to waste time defending my choices. I stood up, walking to my window. Then it became an experiment. How long would it take you to notice that your failing daughter was actually controlling most of your daily comforts? Lisa's voice came through my intercom. Miss Phoenix, the board meeting starts in 10 minutes. Thank you, Lisa. I turned back to the call. Now we have two options. 1. I continue allowing you to enjoy preferential treatment through my companies, but with a new understanding of exactly who's providing that privilege. 2. I remove all special considerations and let you experience what it's like to deal with these services like regular customers. Emma, please. Rachel's voice had lost all its usual arrogance. My engagement party next week. I need everything to be perfect. Funny how suddenly you care about my business skills, I said, checking my calendar. The party's at the Grand Plaza, right? Interesting choice, since I bought that hotel chain last month. Mom's eyes widened. You own the Grand Plaza too? Yes. And about 60% of the luxury hotels around here, I said with a smile. I remembered all the times they laughed at my strange consulting jobs. In reality, I'd been closing billion-dollar deals. We were wrong, Dad said softly. Really wrong. Can we start fresh? I thought about the many dinners where they talked over me, gave me advice I didn't ask for, and acted like my work didn't matter. Starting over means facing some hard truths, I replied. Like the fact that your easy lifestyles rely on the success you used to mock. Every time you made fun of my career, you were actually mocking the person behind your mortgage, your utilities, your fancy clubs. Me? We get it now, Mom said quietly. Please come to Sunday dinner. Let us make it right. I glanced at the time. 5 minutes until my board meeting about a possible billion-dollar merger. I'll think about it, I said. But first, a few ground rules. 1. My work is real. If I say I can't come to something because of business, it's not an excuse. It's because I run a corporate empire. Of course, they both said quickly. 2. You only keep the perks you've been enjoying from my companies if you show real respect. Not just because I'm successful, but because you finally understand what I've built. Absolutely, Dad said. And 3. Next time you think about banning me from dinner, remember, I'm the reason your lights still work. I paused. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a board meeting. Wait. Rachel shouted. My engagement party, will everything still go smoothly? I thought of the guest list she sent. I wasn't invited. She said I wouldn't fit in. That depends, I said. Am I still not good enough for your sophisticated crowd? Please come, she said quickly. It would mean a lot. Funny how your attitude changes when you find out your unsophisticated sister owns the venue. I checked my watch. Lisa will send updated contracts for all your event services. Read them carefully. They'll explain exactly how your VIP treatment works, or doesn't. Emma, Mom said gently. The Sunday dinner invitation still stands. Please come. I'll check my calendar, I replied. Unlike some people, I run a real business. But here's an idea. Maybe you should come to my office for lunch. It's time you saw what your barely getting by daughter actually built. Your office? Dad asked. Yes. The top floor of Phoenix Tower. That 90-story building downtown. You pass it every day on your way to work. The room went silent as they finally realized the building with my name on it was mine. Lisa will send the details, I added. Business casual, please. And Rachel, your Chanel bag? I own part of that company too. So next time, think before mocking your sister's job while carrying her product. You own Chanel? Rachel asked in shock. Among other things, I said. Now I've got a billion-dollar merger to attend. Lisa will fix your services shortly. Think of this morning's hiccup as a reminder. Your comfort depends on the sister you ignored. As I left for my board meeting, Lisa approached with a smile. Should I get the executive lunch ready for your family visit? Yes, I nodded. And Lisa, make sure the view from the dining room is perfect. I want them to see exactly what they've overlooked. Of course, Miss Phoenix, she said. Will you be going to Sunday dinner? I looked out at the city, my city now, and smiled. Maybe. But first, let's see if they've learned to care about more than what I give them. Because real family is about more than just perks and power. As I walked into my meeting, my phone buzzed with texts full of apologies. I ignored them. I had bigger things to do, like a deal that would grow Phoenix Industries even more. Because sometimes, the best revenge isn't cutting people off. It's showing them how much they've always needed the person they never believed in.